certainly there is no how we can be able to achieve what we want to achieve in this country towards transition to the energy without this collaboration. I am happy to see Nigerian Navy here, and I can see a number of agencies. This cannot be achieved without the holistic approach in terms of the implementation. Having said that, now let me go to your own question. In January, the Vice President inaugurated the Committee for the Blue Economy. And before then, the agency presented paper to the Ministry of Transportation on our own plan and what we intend to do to make sure that we make maximum utilization of the blue economy in terms of policy intervention. And the documents had to get to Mr. President because of the importance attached to the blue economy. And he approved. Vice President, being the chairman of the economic team, was assigned and appointed to be the chairman of the blue economy. So you can see the importance attached to it, given this number 2 person to head that particular area. Now, on the issue of the negotiations, whether we are coming from the strength perspective, even before the inauguration, the agency took upon itself to say that we will no longer think that the issue of blue economy is something to do with the federal government. I had to go around to the literal states governors to sensitize the governors to be able to understand the benefit and the gains of the blue economy. And in so doing, the 8 literal states as defined by the Supreme Court, I had various meetings with them, and most of them decided to select the area of comparative advantage they believe their state has to be in. Similarly, we try to take the sensitization also to the private sector. I remember the Coca-Cola International, they came to the agency to see how we can be able to combat our waste that comes from the sea, which predominantly, mostly comes from the, hinterland. And as a result of rains and other things, get itself into the water. So in that, we have what we call marine litters. So how do we move and remove those marine litters? What are we going to use to make use of the better population we have that are using those garbage into our own seas? The agency, in terms of policy intervention, within the next 3 months, we are going to introduce deploying high-tech that will be collecting such garbage and recycle it for the better use. Now, under the private sector, most of the policy intervention has to do with PPP arrangement. For instance, if you go to our coastal waters, you will observe number of wrecks littered everywhere, apart from even the one that is under the sea. So what we are doing now in the Nigeria Railway Corporation, we have over 100 years boundary that has been idle. The Nigerian Maritime Administration and Safety Agency entered into negotiation with the Bayelsa state government to fund the reactivation of that boundary, as Bayelsa, NIMASA as one angle of the PPP. The Nigeria Railway Corporation, they will give us the platform, and then a company in Nigeria with technical partner from South Africa. They are coming in, and we have already consulted the ICRC, that is the regulatory body for the monitoring of the government investment in terms of PPP. That's number one. Then number two, the water hyacinth, it has a lot of economic value. So still under the blue economy, we are deploying also high-tech equipment that can be removing those water hyacinth and converting it into various aspects of utilization in our own country. So with this, if you look at the boundary alone, we are envisaging an employment opportunity of not less than 1,000 people. Now, the issue of removal and utilization of the water hyacinth also. Now, we have what we call offshore reception facility. Most of the ships that are coming into the countries, they dump their own garbage or waste into the waters because we don't have a very systematic way of management, waste management in our own seas. So we are entering also into PPP arrangement with the private investors to bring the platforms that we will be utilizing to take up this garbage from the ship's owners and make utilization of it. And at the end of the day, we will be earning additional revenue. Similarly, there are a lot of international maritime conventions on waste disposals, like Nairobi Conventions. We are also making utilization of that, at the same time domesticating such laws so that at the end of the day, we will be able to achieve what you just mentioned. The Nigeria will come on the strong side by gaining power in what we will be able to achieve. Under this, I conceive a kind of thought, which I call it enabling triangle. The enabling triangle suggests on one side, you must provide the infrastructure. The private sector, they can invest in infrastructure only if they think they will get enough return on their own investment. That's one aspect on the infrastructure. Now, on the issue of return of investment, you can't even think of comfort in terms of investing if there is no security. So you must know whether your investment is purely secured as you do. So the second things we have to do is to ensure the proper management of our own maritime insecurity. If you venture into Google, you will see the result of insecurity in Nigeria and the Gulf of Guinea from January to December 2021, which we recorded over 80% reduction in terms of insecurity. Now, with the drop of the insecurity, we are now coming with the strong bargaining power to tell the investors or to tell the private sector, even though the threat is still there, but for us to be able to achieve that within this time frame, you are welcome to come and invest, and these things cannot be able to go in vain. That's the second leg of the enabling triangle. Infrastructure, one angle, security, another angle, and then the third angle, good governance. And the good governance entail interventionary policies from time to time. And that interventionary policies brought about the two legs of infrastructure and the security itself, which the agency invests heavily on deep blue projects.